So, you might be wondering how CS2 is dead in any way and what I meant by the title. Well, actually, we're gonna take a deep dive to see how it's not dying and how it's doing so many numbers, even though there has been no major updates in the game. So, recently I've seen this tweet by Osni saying that CS2 has hit a all-time player peak at 1.783 million, and I have fact-checked this is true. This has been the obsolete peak of CS2, and it's almost peaked CSGO in general since it came out back in 2012. So now my question was, when I first saw this, how is this even possible given how little players say that they play and how many people complain about playing the game? It's almost a daily situation where you see players crying about cheaters and how the anti-cheat has not been yet developed, which is a valid problem that keeps going. And I think I have the answer to why CS2 is not dying and how it's been going on so strongly without a update in the past few months that's major and that has something to bring. My first point would be Faceit and Pro competitions combined, since they have brought in significant amount of viewership and numbers. So first of all, we have the PGL Cluj-Napoca that just ended. By the way, massive crowd, 539 peak viewers on a non-major event is the number one viewership on any non-major events organized by PGO, which by the way is a massive number for anyone who's wondering. Majors usually have around 1.1 million people watching in the final, which is a major. So having this many people was insane, and I think that's why people have started playing the game, which kind of lines up with why the player base was so high on that particular day. And also it's because of the events. By doing events in these countries that haven't had events in such a long while, will bring you significant viewership and significant player base. It's not that it will remain like this, because I think the next PGL that will happen in Romania again will not bring that many players to the game, but it definitely helps. And also let's look at the Faceit player counts. Hunyonyonya did a video about 4 months ago. I don't know how relevant it still is today, but doing his research that I haven't been able to find, but we'll go off his word. 30,000 players daily play on Faceit, which is not a massive number, but it's definitely an improvement from CSGO, since many players have started to adapt other platforms such as ESEA, Faceit, and all those other platforms to play their game, because CS2 does not have an anti-cheat, as you all know. Another interesting entry, if I may, is the maps competition from CSGO proposing maps. So we have Mapcore here that has proposed maps for CS2. They have all these different maps that are concurrent during testing with Faceit. And we don't know if these will ever get added into the game, but they are proposed by Faceit. They are being properly tested to see if they are game ready. So I think what we'll see, if CS2 does not do anything about their map pool and about their game itself, I think Faceit will take a step in that direction and add something themselves, which I think it's a good thing, honestly, for the general players. But in my opinion, CS2 should do their job, and that should be their job, not the map creator's job and Faceit's job. Another interesting thing that I have talked about in my last video, if you haven't seen it yet, please go watch it because it's important here. So quickly to glance over it, there has been a new terms and conditions agreement that people who post on the community page has to agree to when they post their work. So basically it's to give a percentage of the sale to the creator of the skin. So if you have a skin that's in the armory, for example, the next armory, you will get a percentage that case generates. And the last part I want to talk about is major updates. So if you are not aware, major updates in CS2 have not been so frequent. Now, if we look at the update log, the last quote-unquote major update would be the Season 2 in January 29th. It's already been a month, nothing happening. So the CS2 team was like, oh, let's release Season 2. They have not released an anti-cheat. It's virtually even worse than before, since cheaters have come back to the game to start cheating. And it's been pretty bad. So my question would be, when are we getting a new update? What is going to happen? And that would be hard to tell you, because if before we had the access to the commands and to their database to see when they make a change, when they're trying an update, that would have been very nice. But as we currently know, they have privated that branch in December or late November last year. So we do not have access to anything that happens behind closed doors. So we just have to sit and speculate. Now, is that a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. But it's not a good thing either. Because if before there was hype and players starting on the game because they saw an update was coming, now that thing has totally vanished from existence. So yeah, in my opinion, CS2 needs something, a new rework. And something that is also a very big problem is the current map pool in Premiere. So the current map pool in Premiere has virtually stayed the same. Only Vertigo was taken out and replaced with Train. But that isn't a major change given the community's despise for Train. So Train is more hated than Vertigo, which is a crazy thing to say, but it's true. So now, what is the next step in Counter-Strike? What can they do? Well, first of all, maybe change the community maps, because they have been in the game for I think 3 months already, and nothing has changed. They haven't been added anywhere, they're just here. And another thing, maybe change the Premiere map pool, or do something about Premiere cheaters. But yeah. So basically CS2 has a very big cheating problem, but has other parts that helps it compensate and actually do numbers. Do I think CS2 is dying? Slowly, yes. Does player count reflect that? No, but it will reflect it in a couple of days once the hype is again over. Yeah, that was about it from me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you share the same thoughts and opinions. I think this is why the game has been thriving, but I'm not so sure if you all agree. So leave a comment down below and have a great day. Bye bye.